moved here that I know because it was a state that didn't have income tax.
So let's talk about that. So the first piece of this is affordability. So I grew up in Newton, Massachusetts when it was called Taxachusetts. And it was losing families and businesses just like us because the taxes are too high. And I was just at Hitchcock Chair just down the road in Riverton. And I visited with them and they talked about how people are leaving our state and they're actually doing more business in Massachusetts now and they're thinking maybe we need to leave and go where our customers are. And to me this is like the world turned upside down. When I grew up in Massachusetts, it was a high-tax state and people were leaving. Well, you know what they did? They got new leadership. They had Governors Weld, Romney, and now Baker, and now their taxes are lower than ours, and the logo of GE is now on the uniform of the Boston Celtics.
That's correct.
And so what we need to do is we need to cut our taxes. And it's not, from my standpoint, this is not an option, it's a necessity. But we're not making these empty promises of eliminating the personal income tax. We have two of the competitors in the field. Bob Stefanowski and Mark Boughton are promising to eliminate the income tax.
Right.
And that I view...
It's kind of pie in the sky.
Not only is it pie in the sky, I view that it is dishonest and it is irresponsible. The reason that our state is on the verge of financial collapse is for decades we've had politicians making promises they could not keep. And that's exactly what these guys are doing. And for Mark Boughton, this is his third time running. He's been doing it for over 10 years. This is his Hail Mary pass, okay? For Bob Stefanowski, this guy is a businessman. He's supposed to understand the numbers. This idea that you're going to eliminate the personal income tax, which is half of the budget, half of it, when you already have this enormous budget deficit, it is absolutely dishonest and it is irresponsible. And so, but what we believe is that we do need to cut our income tax. And we've put out on our website, davidstemerman.com, our plans to do it. And we have proposed a $3 billion tax cut, personal income tax cuts for everyone. We're going to go from 7 brackets down to 3. For the first $10,000, you're going to pay nothing. For the next, if you're currently paying 5 or 5.5%, we're going to take you down to 4. And the top bracket is going to be 5%. And so it's going to be a similar income tax cut for everybody. We're going to match that top 5% with our business corporate rate at 5% as well. We're going to eliminate the estate tax. We're going to eliminate the gift tax, which is driving wealth out of our state. And we're going to eliminate a whole bunch of also nuisance taxes, like this business entity tax. So as soon as you start a business, they immediately slap a tax on you in the state. And so we're going to get rid of it. It's going to cost us $3 billion. But then what's important is saying, how are we going to pay for it? So you can actually count on it.
That's the counter question.
So the way we're going to do it, $2 billion in cost savings. We talk about economize, privatize, and prioritize. The Commission on Fiscal Stability and Economic Growth, which made a whole series of recommendations to the legislature, said we can cut our spending by $1 billion. But they assumed you couldn't change the state employee bargaining agreement. When we change it, when we pay our state employees no more and no less than what they get in the private sector, and we have the right number of workers, we can save $2 billion.
Okay.
The last piece is for $1 billion, we are going to get rid of special deals in the tax code. So when I was over at Hitchcock Chair, they were saying, you know what, all these special giveaways to Sikorsky, to Pratt & Whitney, I don't get those special deals. And so what I say is we have such a lousy place to do business today. It is so high tax. The regulations make it so costly. The only way we can keep businesses here is by bribing them. But when we make it a better place to do business, when we cut our taxes, when we cut our regulations that's driving up the costs of health care, of energy, and drive it all down, we're going to save businesses no more of the special deals. And that's how we're going to get the other $1 billion. And that's how we're going to put it all together.